Hey guys, it's Adam Silverman here with Mule Town Digital. Today I want to do a little bit of the talk about how we're leveraging AI and kind of the philosophy of utilization of AI and ChatGPT and all that as an agency. I will tell you, it has changed so much even in the last 3 or 4 months. And so I felt it'd be appropriate to kind of explain how we're embracing it and just give you guys some things to think about when you're dealing with AI. So the first big thing for Mule Town Digital is we have committed to people first. And that means understanding what's going on with our clients. They're having a rough time. They're having huge growth. They're, struggling with X, Y, and Z. Empathy is something that chat and all AI doesn't really have. And so when we put people first, we believe that what we're really doing is saying this is a person-to-person thing. And that's more important than just getting an AI engine to spit out a bunch of garbage, right? When we're working through a problem, someone's ads aren't working right, or they're not getting traffic, or their business is struggling. People first. AI is a great, helpful tool, but we got to keep people in front of the technology. Number two is tools don't think. Tools can't think. AI does not think. If you ask it 3 different ways the same question, you're going to get 3 different replies. So it really boils down to it is just a tool. And in the right hands, it's a powerful tool. And in someone's hands that don't know what they're doing, it's a dangerous tool. And I often equate it to driving a tractor. I do a lot of farming on the side. And my tractor is the same whether I'm driving it or a very experienced farmer is driving it or a brand new farmer is driving it. The machine is the same, but it will do different things for each one of those people because it's just a tool. So if you put it in the hands of somebody extremely experienced, they're going to get a huge yield and a great, product out of that tool. If it's in the hands of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing in the first place, all the technology in that tractor is going to be useless because you don't know what it is that you're actually trying to do, which kind of leads me to thing 3, which is you got to think before you prompt. And I say that in Mule Town Digital all the time. Think about what it is that you're trying to do, then write your prompts. Because if you just go into ChatGPT and say, I need a marketing plan for X business, it'll give it to you. It's probably going to be 98% wrong because it may not look at the right competitors. It may look at the wrong keywords, the wrong location. And it will very confidently tell you that it's correct. But a lot of times it's not. I've experimented with this with nutrition before, like asking it things like, does stevia affect people with neurological issues? It'll say yes if I want to, but if I reframe my question, I can get it to say no. So you have to think through what you need the prompts to actually do, and then you have to be able to read and understand what's come out of it to validate that it's actually correct or not, because it's always going to act correct. And you can correct it. It'll go, oh, that's right, you're correct. Well, how do I know, right? Like before, you said I was correct. Now I'm incorrect. Now I'm correct. It is really not a tool that you can just throw the stuff in there flippantly and get a good outcome. You've got to actually think about what you want. The other part of it too, and kind of a fourth thing is we have to be creative with the use of it, right? You can't just, if you just go in there and go, I don't know, I want it to do X, it'll do whatever you ask, but the human element of creativity is all in how we prompt it and the documents that we feed it and examples that we give it and all of those things. That is the creative side. The human side of AI is getting it to do what we want. It takes being creative and thinking through, what you actually want the output to look like. That creativity I found at Mule Town Digital has become more and more and more important, because anyone can go in there and just start throwing stuff in. It's people being creative and having an intelligent way to utilize what it gives you back. That's where the value is. And finally, we're seeing more and more that the amount of content that gets produced is important and the quality of content is important. But it's very important to understand just making a bunch of terrible content for your business or your website, it's not going to help you rank. It's not going to help with Google. It's not going to help in the chat engines. Garbage content is still garbage content. If you can make unique, original content for your business, video, writing, photography, whatever, and get it across a bunch of platforms, that's a huge win for you. That's a huge win for your business. But if you just produce a whole bunch of garbage and throw it out on your website, it's probably not going to actually help you. So quality of content is becoming more and more and more important, and originality of content. Because yes, I will probably use ChatGPT after this is transcribed to help me build an article, to help me put stuff together. But the content is mine or Muletown Digital's. It's not ChatGPT's or Claude or whatever. It's not their content, it's ours that we're utilizing that engine to repurpose and to reuse. So in the end, Mule Town Digital's philosophy is AI is not a threat to us. It's not a threat to our business, and it's most likely not a threat to yours. What I think AI can do is create apathy, though, where it's, oh, I don't really want to waste the time to learn this thing, so I'll just throw it in GPT. Becoming apathetic about what you do with your business is a potential place where AI will kill your business, because all of a sudden you don't want to think anymore. I don't know. I don't want to schedule that. I'll just have an agent do it. Well, when your business starts to lose that personality and loses the thinking and loses the people part, then it's like the only thing you can do is be the cheapest, right? Which probably none of you or nobody that I know really wants to be the cheapest thing, right? Everybody wants to be the best thing, the most awesome thing. We don't typically start out to be the cheapest. And so with AI, the thread really behind that is the apathy of, oh no, I'll just throw it in there. That's where you get in trouble with AI. Our commitment to our clients is that we will leverage AI as much as we can to make things affordable, efficient, and high quality. But we're not going to play this game of let's just make a bunch of garbage because we can. It's not what Mule Town Digital is all about. It's not why I created the business. It's not why my partner Aaron and I get up in the morning and help build this team and run this and work with all of our clients. We don't do that, for any other reason than that we love our clients and we love helping businesses grow. And we'll leverage AI as much as possible to make that happen. But there's a line where you can use it to kind of cheat or be deceptive or make it seem like you know things you don't know. And our commitment is that's not how we're going to use AI. That's not how our company is going to function. We're going to be the best at what we do, creating excellent media buyers, excellent SEO, PPC, web design, web development, all that being handled by people, leveraging AI to get media work off our plates so we can do the big stuff. That's how Mule Town Digital is looking at AI. So I'm curious, drop a comment if you're into social or in YouTube, drop a comment down there. Let me know how you're using AI and what you've run into, and maybe places where you feel like you might be ethically in danger, or are there times where you've gotten bogus answers for it? I've definitely managed to get GPT to lie to me many, many times. I have a lot of expertise in agriculture and industrial and building and, music and all these things. And especially with drums, I can get GPT to straight lie to me without having to try very hard. So our commitment is we're not going to pretend like we know things. We're going to actually be the experts and leverage the tools as needed so that we can actually help our clients be successful and be efficient and profitable at the same time. That's where, ChatGPT and all the AI is going to really help your business. So if you have questions about AI, if you have questions about, growth marketing, websites, all the things, basically, if it is digital and it involves growing a business, we do it. Please reach out to us. You can connect with us anytime at hello@muletowndigital.com. You can book a call in with our team. Love to connect with you. Love to help you kind of dance around with what's going on in the world of AI. So thanks for taking the time to watch. Just really felt like I needed to share how we feel like we can use this and where the ups and downs are of it. And I'm curious about your journey as well. Okay, thanks.